All right, now that we have everything set up and ready to go, let's start working with Git just a little bit by looking at our Git version, which we've already done basically, and more importantly, how to get help using Git, both through the command line and online. I'm starting off on my Windows desktop, and at this point, I can either choose to use Git Bash or Windows Terminal. From now on, basically, if I say we're going to use the terminal program, what I mean is either one of these. So I'm going to use Windows Terminal since I like the tabbing capabilities. All right, with that open, let's do a Git version. And of course, that simply outputs the version of Git that's currently installed. No big deal, we've already done that, but now we have this nice big screen to show that off. Well, what about other Git commands? Well, we can ask Git for help about itself. We can use the -- help option without any other arguments, and we should get something back. We scroll back up, we can see we get help about how to use the Git command. And it provides several of these subcommands that we could add to the help command. So let's try that. So we'll use the help subcommand, so it'd be git help, followed by whatever it is that you want help on. So one of the commands we'll be using soon will be the config command. So let's get help about that. So git help space config. Once we press enter, we'll be prompted to actually launch our web browser. Now, this is a behavior that is unique to Windows. This does not happen on Mac or Linux. You'll get a man page instead. We'll choose our web browser of choice. I'm going to use Google Chrome, and then say always for this particular invocation. Hit OK. As you can see, once Chrome launches, we go to a manual style page, but through a web browser. And you can tell by the path, this is actually not on the internet. This is from our local installation. All right, let's take a few moments to review the information that's here. The man pages typically have a description that tell you what the command's about, as well as the common options to go with it. All right, let's close out. Back at the terminal, I'll show you another way to get to the same place. Git followed by the actual subcommand you want to use, which is config, space, and then -- help option. This is exactly the same thing. Once again, the git config man page loads. And we can combine this syntax to get help about help. So git help, so help is the subcommand. And then we'll do the -- help option off the subcommand. Great. Now we have our man page for Git help. Let's go ahead and close out. Basically, you can use either the first syntax or the second syntax. All right, now let's look at getting help online. For now, let's close out of the terminal. Let's go ahead and invoke our web browser. and go to git-sem.org. I believe .com works too. So once on the home page, you can go to documentation. Once there, go to reference. And this provides you a list of all the things that Git is able to do. Under setup and config will be our familiar config command. So let's click into that. You'll notice this is slightly different than the man page that we had before, although a lot of the same information is still here. What I like about this page, though, you can actually go back in history and see the status of this command as of a particular version of Git. So, for example, if you're running an older version, say that you work for an enterprise that locks down specific versions of tools that you have installed, then you can go to that command's help page as of that particular version. For the most part, a lot of the information you'll want is available on the official Git website, although the documentation can be a little intense to read at times. So I like to look up this information after I've gotten pretty familiar with how Git works. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close my web browser, and we're off to the next video.